So I recently saw a TikTok video about Roll20 integrating Dungeon Scrawl, a map-making tool, into their platform. Got pretty excited about the news, immediately went to one of my Roll20 games to test this integration out, and I didn't find anything in there. It was just the same old campaign, no new tools, no additions, there was nothing, really. So I started to dig, only to find out that the phrase Dungeon Scroll is now part of Roll20 actually means Roll20 team is now in control of Dungeon Scroll. And what does it bring us? Let's find out together. According to the product manager of Roll20, Andrew Searles, Dungeon Scroll becoming a part of Roll20 is just the first step towards its integration into the VTT. According to him, we'll be able to create dungeons while we're exploring it with the tokens, and he actually even made a video, a short one, in which he sort of DM'd the game for free players using Dungeon Scroll. So he obviously wasn't using Roll20 as it's not, as Dungeon Scroll is not part of it so far. And I figure he just shared his screen with his players while he was drawing this dynamic map of some cave system with ending it with a dungeon, as far as I remember. So I figure the players could actually see the map this whole time. It's definitely not the same as using VTT, like Roll20 or whatever you're using there. So they still kind of had fun. Just you know, by the looks of the video, the players were actually happy. And I figure again, this is just them showing how it might work in future. He also shared some of the ideas of how the VTT can combine and integrate this Dungeon Scroll map-making tool into it. In his post on Roll20 forum, he actually said about seamless map exports to Roll20 games, shared library of images and scenes or maps, cloud storage for maps, and many more. But you do have to understand that this is just not happening right away, as they are still working on some features for Roll20, hopefully making it not so laggy and not so freezy. But anyways, for today, what he said that means is that Dungeon Scroll's free features will still remain available for everyone for free on DungeonScroll.com. The unlimited maps, exports to PNG, isometric supports, and more. So basically all the features that Dungeon Scroll has at this point. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't used that tool that much. I might have heard about it just back in the days, but I pretty much can say that I haven't used it for good. He also said that you can still use DungeonScroll.com like you did yesterday, whatever that means. Everything we love about the tool, simplicity, design, and depth will remain unchanged. And apparently the creator of Dungeon Scroll is still continuing to work on it and to help Roll20. Is still going to help Roll20 to realize this vision in their future works. Just like I said earlier, I have not used Dungeon Scroll to this very day, but I do have to say that it is actually very simple to use. It works pretty fast, works just right from your browser, which is great for my poor potato laptop. This is the reason why I actually use Roll20, because it doesn't really eat a lot of resources during the game. So yeah, I'm happy about this. And I really hope that in the future they will be able to seamlessly integrate all this stuff into Roll20. That you will just be able to open your campaign and start drawing maps just on the fly, you know. I really hope that they will integrate the dynamic lighting in the first place with all the new doors and windows that we have now on Roll20, which actually happened not so long time ago. So I do hope that this is going to be just a great map making tool for the people who like to draw stuff on the spot, like myself sometimes actually. But again, this is not only for prepless DMs as I see that, because you could actually create a dungeon just before the session if you are limited on the time for the prep, and this is actually amazing. This is really a cool feature. So let me show you how Dungeon Scroll works. So here we are on Dungeon Scroll, powered by Roll20. Very nice. And yeah, we've got the big news, big announcement right here on the page that opens once you open Dungeon Scroll. But let's get to the map making tool itself, and let me actually sort of show you around what it looks like. So when you open the website, you will be given this empty canvas. Please take a note that there is this division setting in the left bottom corner that will be set to 1 second. And I actually like working with like just 1 to 1 with 5 feet squares because it's way easier to integrate the maps like this into Roll20 dynamic lighting system you will just have to use a polygon tool there and just click along the grid, and it will really make your life easier. So here, fantasy is your limit, I guess. Your imagination is your limit, and you just start drawing whatever you feel like. Say I've got this room over here that may be some kind of occultist layer, and if I don't like the size of this room, I can actually draw right over it and it's gonna change it. So I was not satisfied with 13 by 9, let's make it 14 by 10 now. So I just do this over, and it works just fine. So with this layer over here, I just want a corridor maybe going down, I don't know, something like this. That's a little bit too big, so I just Control Z this and cancel, undo the previous change. So I just want to go like this. Then, I don't know, just throw in some more rooms, like a ritual chamber, small one, or something like this. Maybe there are some living quarters, say, just here. I really don't know, like, just for example, something like this, and we'll add 2 rooms in here. Wait, the rooms are actually not added. I don't know why. It actually wait, yeah, I know why. Okay, yeah, because this is just a little bit too big. For this type of thing, we want to use a wall tool, because I've already created a room per se, right? So I just want to split it by a wall. Double click to finish it. And then another wall like here, and that's gonna be just fine. The rough setting is turned off. Very nice. So yeah, I've got this nice little rooms, and I was thinking about a different thing. When you create rooms like this, you can actually create them separately. So instead of creating one big room, I create one small, and then 2 more, just like this. I don't know. Maybe there is a like a closet over there, something like this. So there is this sweet path tool actually around here, which you can use to actually, well, obviously create paths, I guess, to connect them. Wait, that's a wall tool, I'm sorry. My apologies, this one. Yeah, the settings are, you can use different settings around here, so that's perfectly fine. And let's say that we connect them like this. Double click to finish it, like this, I don't know. And say that this whole thing is actually coming from the cavern system or something. So this one I saw from Andrew's stream on how he showed Dungeon Scroll and its features. So say you want this to look like a cave entrance or like a cavern system or something. So you take the path tool, for example, right? You start making a path for the caves. Say they're going like this. And then with Shift R actually, I put it into the rough mode as I turn it on. As I double click, it will now show me like a distorted figure of this thing. When I'm satisfied, I just double click again, and here I will have pretty cool looking rough cavern system around here. And just say I want to add a cavern entrance on top of this as well, still have my rough turned on, so I just do something like this. Just whatever I like, really, whatever you feel like. And double clicking. On top of all these things, there is also the beautiful door tool. When you just connect 2 dots together, it creates a door for you. Really simple to use, really sweet. And I do hope when they finally integrate this stuff into Roll20 directly, that these things will actually know where I put the doors, and they will be put immediately on dynamic lighting layer on Roll20. The same can be said obviously about the walls. I really hope that once they integrate all this stuff together, that we will not really even have to put the walls on Roll20 dynamic lighting layer ourselves. Sometimes, especially with the caverns, which are pretty cool for the players, I suppose, but for me as a DM, setting up the dynamic lighting for the caverns is somewhat of a pain. You see, when I work, if I feel very lazy, and with most map makers, they actually make it the way that the walls are usually situated along the grid, right? And when you place the dynamic lighting on the layer on Roll20, usually there is a portion of the wall sticking out. So it's actually pretty cool, because your players can see that there is not just darkness, just a barrier that you placed like this, right? Just in the middle for them, for like no reason. But they see that this is like a wall. So So the portion of the map is actually there with dynamic lighting. Here, if I just export this and I put it into my Roll20 game, and if I'm feeling particularly lazy, I'm just gonna draw the dynamic lighting right along the grid just like this, and my players will not see all these beautiful textures around the map. You see this rough edges or whatever. So it will be looking pretty blank for them. So I do hope that when they integrate this stuff, they will figure something out on how to actually create this walls. Let's turn off the snap thing, so that the walls of dynamic lighting will be not immediately like here, but they will be just a little bit wider, just like this, so that my players can actually see this area. And obviously it's not going to take me any time, right? So my players will be actually will be able to see this thing over here, like this this rough texture of the map. This is gonna be pretty cool for them. There are also things about secret walls, of course. It's not gonna be that easy to integrate, I think, but I hope they'll figure something out. Say I just want to create a secret passage around here, around this place. Let's actually think about it. So for example, I need a fraction here, I suppose. Just a moment. Yeah, so instead of creating a room like from here, I will just go a little bit of a grid. Yeah, okay, froze. That's okay. Don't mind my my poor laptop. It doesn't really handle the recording very well. So I will actually create a secret room like this and place a secret door over here. I do hope that eventually they will be able to integrate this feature as well, and the secret doors will be placed there, hidden away from the players, obviously, just like they did recently with the walls, with the doors on Roll20. So yeah, it's a pretty sweet map making tool, as you can see. It works pretty fast. So for this prepless DMs, this is your go-to thing to use before the game, I suppose. I think that I will be using this from now on, because again, I did not hear really about Dungeon Scroll until that recent time. So yeah, overall it's actually pretty neat. It's pretty sweet. There are also some images that you can put on the maps, actually making them more beautiful. Again, my laptop is going to freeze, I suppose, a little bit, but nonetheless there are some assets that you can find in here. They're apparently like free, and you can actually use them to create some textures around your map. Say, just a sec. Okay, we've got this trap. let's put a trap right in the middle of the corridor. It only makes that much sense. All right, make it a little wider, and here we go. We've got a trap. Well, yeah, it doesn't really fit that much into the map, but I suppose that with just a little bit of tweaking around, yeah, it's yeah, it looks okay, I guess. Well, it looks alright. Yeah, it looks alright. Speaking of the layers, by the way, you can change the type of what your map looks like. Just clicking apply to current layer, just like this. Bang, my map looks completely different. It does actually look like dungeon map to some degree. So you can play around with all that. Yeah, and I really hope that they will add even more features, which are actually available for the paid subscribers of Dungeon Scroll. And speaking about paid subscribers, I do hope that the subscriptions will be able to transfer from like one to the other. If I'm a pro user of Roll20, if I have this paid subscription, I hope that I will be able to use this thing inside of my campaigns, right? Without paying anything on top of this. It wouldn't really surprise me if they bump the prices a little bit. I'm not sure about that, of course, obviously nobody knows right now. But let's hope that it's not going to happen. I honestly wouldn't like this for this to happen. So, what else did I miss around here? Ah, yeah, the awesome thing for the people who are completely lazy, just like I am sometimes. So, here is actually this cool feature, and let me show you how this works. You can actually take this special websites like Dungeon and Whataboo to create a one-page dungeons, right? That's exactly what they do. That's exactly how they work. I'll be honest, I've used Dungeon before. Used it for inspiration mostly, and never integrated any of the dungeons that I created there in my Roll20 games. But this website, Wadabu, however you pronounce it, it actually looks really neat. It's actually really sweet. If you just want to completely have zero preparation for your game, just go to this website, open the map, and I believe you can actually export it as a PNG just right from here, put it on Roll20 and start playing. If you want to tweak something, however, you can always export as JSON, and then you come to Dungeon Scroll and you can actually import it in here, and they give you all the instructions on how to do that. There is a weird thing, however, when you import something on top of the map that you already drew, it's going to sometimes mess up with your map that you drew yourself. And sometimes it would put it, yeah, you see, it just put this dungeon complex a little bit off, like a little bit in the corner of my map, right? From here, however, there are also several possibilities. You can just connect the dungeons together, or just delete your dungeon here and you know, import this thing. There are things that don't work very well about this import, however. As you can see, the layout is a little different. I'm not sure if they use the world directions in here just exactly as I see it, right? So the north would be here for me at this stairs, and they actually like what? They rotated it 90 degrees, I believe. Wait, hold on. It was like this. Yeah, 90 degrees to the right, I believe. But on top of this, you can notice there are some assets in here on this map. Like there is this dais over there, there's water in this corner of the dungeon, the pillars, the stairs, they are not unfortunately imported into Dungeon Scroll. I don't know if they're going to fix that, if this is going to be a feature, or if you are supposed to actually make some details of the dungeon on your own, but at least they got the doors. By the way, as you can see, instead of the staircase over here, I have the door, which I obviously don't need here. For the staircases, by the way, there is the special tool. I'm not sure that this is going to be correct, but let's just say that I want it to be that way. It actually goes down somewhere. Yeah, and this one is supposed to be up. So it was supposed to be the other way. We can draw it like this from here. Say, yeah, you see, here's the stairway. So, yeah, overall, pretty excited about that. Pretty cool tool. I'll try to use it in my games. Actually, maybe run a couple of zero prep games for just giving the hook to my players and just, you know, creating the dungeon on the fly. That's gonna be fun, I suppose. And overall, yeah, this is a pretty nice tool to use. You can try it for free. There are some paid features like lighting over here and the textures for the rest of the map, so that this place doesn't really look all blank. I don't have them. I don't have a subscription for Dungeon Scroll. This video was not sponsored by anyone. I just saw the news on the internet about them, about Roll20 integrating Dungeon Scroll, and I know that some people felt they were misled. Just like this one person wrote on the Roll20 forum, I suppose it's good news, but what poor communication. I spent 10 minutes trying to figure out how it was integrated into Roll20 before realizing from reading the comments that it wasn't yet. I can feel your pain. I truly do. So it's actually worth mentioning that Andrew Searles himself answered the comment a little later, as he apologized for the situation and he brought some more news onto this whole thing. So go check out the forum post out there. And please do tell me in the comments, how do you feel about drawing your own dungeons on Roll20, if you're going to use the feature or not. If that's actually going to save your time for the preparation for the games, because I myself am excited about all this thing going on. We're gonna have to wait a little bit, of course, until they finally integrate everything, and so that it works seamlessly, so that it works very well. I really hope that it will. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.